Yo, sack that fool. Hit him, 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 hit him. Smash him up. Watch that move. Went too swift, can't catch these dudes. Can't hit him, 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 hit him. Listen, 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 hit him, listen. This Eagles talk. This talk Eagles. Philly bleed green. It's from your people. Fly, Eagles, fly. Let's beat the squad. Big Pat Shell and Dante the Dark Child. Drop the stats on them. Drop the facts on them. Spur game, baby. Let's get it on.
Hey, fam, it's your man Dante the Dark Knight, and welcome to another edition of Eagles Talk, preseason edition, training camp week number 3. And our Philadelphia Eagles have a preseason game under their belt. Not only that, they are in the midst of having joint practice sessions with the New England Patriots. And here is some good news coming out of that matchup already. So we'll get to that in a minute. Welcome, my guest. Not my guest. He's like a guest, right? Because he wasn't here last week. He's like a damn guest. But he's actually my co-host. Pat, it's good to see you on the screen instead of in the chat room. How you doing?
It's good to be seen. I apologize about last week. I had to get a little haircut. I'm about to go to New Orleans. Had to get reshaped up so we can get ready for this Imperial session down in New Orleans.
This boy he's in makeup and hair more than me. He's in makeup and hair more than I am. This guy. No, it's good to have you back, man. Just in time too to talk about our Philadelphia Eagles and how they're doing in training camp and what you saw in that first preseason game. We'll go over that. You guys in the chat room, our third co-host of the evening, are you guys that are joining us via whatever platform you're watching us on, because this is not only an audio podcast, but it's a video podcast as well. So we have people in the chat room from multiple platforms. That's YouTube, Facebook, and IG. We have IG. We're live on IG too. So thank you and welcome you guys to the program tonight. So before we do anything, we got to do what we do best. So here we go. If you're new to Eagles Talk, you're about to find out what this thing is all about. So you are listening and watching Eagles Talk, the most unique Eagles coverage show around, that is by us Eagles fans for us Eagles fans. And here on Eagles Talk, we like to talk about our favorite football team, that is the Philadelphia Eagles. And we do so in such a relaxed manner that we enjoy our favorite adult beverage in the form of shots. We didn't have any shot takers last week, so I got my guy back. Pat's back, so he's going to be doing a shot of the Jameson Irish whiskey. I am going to be doing, I got my apple juice today. So I got my apple juice. I'll be doing that today. So you guys, let me know what you're partaking in as we do these first quarter shots. So everybody, to our Philadelphia Eagles, let's take it down the hatch. 3, 2, 1.
You're now listening to the first quarter.
All right, so we're listening to the first quarter, man. And let me recognize the first person in the chat room tonight, and that is Jeremiah Andrews. Jeremiah Andrews says, "What's up, family?" I'm assuming that's what he meant, but his fingers was moving faster than his thoughts, so he just typed in "What's family?" I know what family is, but I think he wants to know. He wanted to say "What's up, family?" So what's up, Jeremiah?
Family is the people that bleed green. Us.
Yes, we are Eagles family. Jackie McMillan was the second person in the room, and she said, "Hola, hola, Jackie."
Hola.
The X Factor was the third person in the room watching us from YouTube. He says, "What's going on, fellas? Our boys are doing good in camp right now." Yes, they are. Fourth person in, and we're going to talk about that very soon. Fourth person in the room tonight is Richard Layton. He's watching on Facebook, and he says, "What's up, Eagles family? What's up?" He's also said he's doing, if you don't know what Richard's doing, then you're not a regular of the show. We all know he's doing Tito's and Ultralight. We know that. All right, and the X Factor is doing a shot of Kraken. What's Kraken?
Oh, that's the Kraken is that rum that has the octopus on out of front. Ooh.
Okay, Kraken is the rum. All right, so he's doing the Kraken. Jeremiah said he's doing that Crown. Okay, all right, so let's talk about it. Let's talk about the game, or do we want to talk about the hot thing? What are we going to talk about?
Let's talk about the
We'll
game.
talk about the game. All right. Let's talk about the game. All right. So our Philadelphia Eagles won that game. What was the score? I forget.
It was 16-13.
16-13. Right.
I got a few hot takes about that game. A few.
All right. So I'll let you go first then. So, you guys put in the chat room what you thought about the game. What was what stood out to you? What was the thing that you enjoyed the most? Let's start there. What was the thing that you enjoyed the most? So, Pat, come on and tell me what you saw in that game on Friday night.
So what I enjoyed the most is our cornerbacks being able to play corner, to literally be able to cover wide receivers and make a quarterback make a decision to run the ball. Also, what I like, and this is going to be a hot take, I think by the end of this preseason, Jeremiah Trotter Jr. is going to be the other starting outside linebacker. I'm just saying.
Wow, that's big. That's a big prediction. Because now, who is it now? It's Devin White, and it's Oren Brown. Yeah, and he didn't look good. I admit that.
He got in that we had the first defensive series for our first string defense. Our middle linebackers got caught in a wash and gashed up the middle for at least 13, 14 yards. I mean, I can't really blame the linebackers on that. I got to give some blame to our defensive linemen, but I need my linebackers to come down the hill and make those plays. Don't give him 14 yards. If you know that your defensive lineman missed what he should have, if he should have, took on the center and the guard, whatever, if he should have slanted and he didn't slant and he got double team, come down there and take on an angle and make a tackle at least 6 yards, 7 yards. Don't let this guy get 14 yards on the first play. That's kind of ridiculous as a run play. He was nowhere in sight. He got washed up by the guard. But Nakobe Dean, Jeremiah Trotter working together, they look good. I'll be honest, they look good working together as the linebackers tandem as a second team defense.
All right, well, that's good to hear because prior to that game, Vic had said in his press conference that Nakobe Dean had taken a step back once they started practicing in the stadium. So to see that he did well or better in that game on Friday night was encouraging to see because I think we're all kind of rooting for Nakobe Dean. We were excited when we drafted him, right? We were excited. We thought he was a heat-seeking missile at Georgia. We still think he has that possibility, but injuries has kept him off the field. And I think that this is probably one of his last chances to make a impact on that defense. If he gets hurt this year or he misses any significant time, or if he doesn't look the part, this may be it for Nakobe at being a starter. So I hope that what we saw on Friday, that we see more of that. I have some news coming out of the joint practice, but I'll save that for later till after we talk about the game. So it was encouraging to see that. And I agree. Jeremiah Trotter did make his presence known on Friday night. And that's encouraging because Bond, is that his name? Am I pronouncing it right? He has been running with the first team throughout training camp, and he's been looking okay. But, nothing matters until when the lights go on. So it doesn't matter what you do in training camp. When it's time to play, when the lights go on, that is what's going to tell.
I call Oren Braun. It's Zach Braun.
Zach. Yeah, Zach Braun. So, when the lights go on is when it counts. So, it's good to get the reports out of training camp, but when it's time to play and you don't produce, that's where you're judged the most. And I like the fact that, and we'll talk about this a little bit more too, but I love the fact that Vic Fangio said, my guys are playing. Mm-hmm. I don't know what you guys are doing on the offensive side of the ball. And I don't know what game you're playing, but I'm coaching football, and I've been doing it a long damn time. And the only way my unit is going to get better is if they go out and play. And he did that. And I don't know what you guys are thinking, but football is played in bad weather. So my guys are going out to play. I don't care if it's raining. They're going out there, and I'm going to see what I got on defense. So I give him a lot of credit for bringing that first team unit out there for a few series to see what they had. And us as fans love to see it. How boring has preseason been the last few years, not seeing any of the first team units until the regular season. So that was a breath of fresh air to me to see that Vic said, look, my guys are playing. I'm not gonna know what I have on defense if they don't play when the lights go on. How can I adequately judge these guys when the majority of me seeing them work is in walkthroughs and non-pad practices? I can't tell anything by that. I have to see my guys play against live competition, and we saw that. And some people shine, some didn't. What's another aspect of the corners? That was
outstanding.
That was refreshing.
It was a lot of holding that was not called. So if we continue through the season and this is the status quo for the refs moving forward, I think this is going to bode well for our corners because they are touchy. They are touchy.
Yeah.
But they did look good. It wasn't like they was out there lost, like Bradbury getting beat by a tight end or somebody. No, they actually looked in sync. They looked locked and hip. There were a few pass plays that were successful. A particular one against Eli Ricks. Isaiah Rodgers was a deep dig route that's for about 16-yard gain. But besides that, these guys was competing with these other wide receivers. Even though it's not the starting offense, they were still competing with these wide receivers, making it very difficult for the starting quarterback for the game, Josh Johnson, to do anything.
Yeah, forcing him to run a couple times. And Josh Johnson is an athletic quarterback, but that in this situation, that was good to see him have to run, which meant our corners had tight coverage and he had nowhere to go but to run the ball. So in that instance, that was a good thing to see him have to take off sometimes because our corners were covering very well. Quinyon Mitchell, our first-round draft pick, what do you think about him? He looked really good.
He looked really good. For a guy that's supposed to come in and be a outside corner, to make the transition inside, and also, you can still put him on the outside. He looked like that's a natural position to him. And that's all you want from your corners, to be able to transition inside and outside and be fluid on both aspects. I know that like Vic Fangio said, that the nickel cornerback is a starting position. It's a lot that's going to be thrown at him at that position. He's going to get his opportunity on the outside. Right now, he is our starting nickel. And from that starting nickel, it makes our defense that much better because this is a top-notch talent. He's one of the best corners, if not the best cornerback coming out of the draft. I mean, Nate Wiggins, the other cornerback from Baltimore, he's good too, but he is ranked over Quentin Mitchell. Is ranked over Nate Wiggins. Like, this has the ability, especially with. I guess you're going to announce it in a second. With these guys get healthy and this defensive backfield is going to look so different than what it did last year. I'm excited for this, Dante. I'm excited for the start night. Listen, man, I can't hold my excitement back. I can't wait.
Yeah, being a former defensive back, I guess not. Being a former defensive back, I guess you are excited. Yes. Yeah, they were good, man. And he almost had an interception. He dropped the interception.
Dropped that money. What's Slay say?
He dropped that money. What Slay? I was just about to say that. Slay said in an interview after the game that he told those guys they dropping money out there. They dropping money. They get paid to intercept the ball, and they dropping money out there. And that was refreshing to hear him have such a high praise for the young guys. And like you said, you teased it, but we might as well say it. Our boy DeJohn is back. He's active. He's back. Cooper DeJohn is back. It couldn't be in the nick of time because he was missing valuable snaps in practice. And I think that he was really penciled in to be a big part of this defense this year. So these couple of weeks being out has definitely cost him a little bit. And being activated today, I think that he may have ample time to get out there and earn some snaps on the field by the time the regular season rolls around. Because I was like, man, he's missing a lot of valuable snaps, man. And they really liked him in OTAs and the such. And he needs these reps at practice, man. And he needs these preseason games to really so we can see what he can do and get him acclimated to being a big part of this defense. So he is back. But even without him, man, there were, Quinyon Mitchell, Isaiah Rodgers stood out.
Keely Ringo.
Ringo stood out. So we have a healthy competition in the secondary. And for those who don't make the, not the cut, but don't make the starting lineup, right? You feel confident with the depth that's there. So there's no fear now that if Slay goes down, I really don't have any fear anymore. I love Slay.
I'm not worried about
not
Slay
afraid.
any longer. He is that veteran that you need in that defensive backfield that can give you some veteran experience, give you some veteran teaching. But you know what? Like you just said, Dark Knight, I'm not worried about if he goes down. I feel that we have adequate defensive backs to replace each and every one in that defensive backfield.
Yes,
With
indeed.
that
And
being
that's
said,
yeah. Let's end this quarter though.
And that's the end of the quarter.
All right, that's the end of the first quarter, man. We're going to talk a little bit more about the game and what you guys saw. I'm going to go to your comments as soon as we start this second quarter. But you are watching and listening to Eagles Talk, the #1 Eagles coverage show on Facebook that's by Eagles fans for Eagles fans. And here on Eagles Talk, we talk about our favorite football team, that is the Philadelphia Eagles. We do so in such a relaxed manner that we enjoy our favorite adult beverage in the form of shots. So Pat has his shot already up, holding it up to the camera and everything. And it is a shot of Jameson Irish whiskey. Let me know what you guys are partaking in out there. I am going to keep it with the apple juice. And with the apple juice, it's really strong, so it keeps me regular. I'm really regular when I drink my apple juice. Maybe too much information. Okay, anyway, all right. So we're going to take it down the hatch for our Philadelphia Eagles. So 3, 2, 1.
You're now listening to the second quarter.
right. So I just want to be able to gauge properly if I'm looking at this TV. I'm not looking at all 22. I'm looking at this TV, this game film. I want to make sure what I see against their ones is what everybody else see against their ones. That's all.
All right, I get it. There's arguments to be made on both sides. We agree to see it a little differently. Jamie says, I think J.J. McCarthy would disagree. Why, he got hurt? I didn't hear.
He tore his meniscus. Well, he has a torn meniscus, which is about to require surgery. The length of time that he's going to be out is about to be determined after the surgery. So he's getting surgery on his right meniscus, I believe it was. His knee was bothering him right after the game. They said his knee was bothering him, and they did an MRI and X-ray, and they said, "Oh, you got a torn meniscus. That's why your knee hurts." We gotta get surgery. So he got the OMB.
OMB. All right. Well, other than that, how did the second string offense look to you?
Before I go to second string offense, I got a gripe to pick.
All right.
I got somebody stocked down right now who's a starter. Jake Elliott. Jake Elliott has done a lot for this team, but missing an extra point and missing a gimme field goal. I mean, was it
That's
for
an
Patrick
anomaly.
Johnson? What was it for Patrick Johnson getting that strict sack fumble and getting the ball back, and you have to correct yourself? We're not talking about this game as the win.
Yeah, but do we really care? I mean, but that's an anomaly for me.
But yeah,
I need to see more of that before I'm worried about Jake. I need to see more of that. That's an anomaly. We've never seen Jake do that. No, I don't even forget Jake. You probably can count on one hand how many kickers have missed 2 field goals and hit the upright. So that's an anomaly. That doesn't happen all the time. That does not happen a lot, then, especially not with Jake. So I would have to see Jake choke a lot more than that before I'm ready to be worried about Jake.
I don't need to
I'm
revert
just
back
being
to that
serious.
2021 season. I don't need to revert back to that.
Yeah,
season.
we don't need that.
All right.
No.
But
Yeah.
another person from the second string offense that surprised me, it wasn't the quarterback. It wasn't Kenny's small hands. it was actually Will Shipley. Will Shipley.
Yeah.
He for what they said about him in camp is that he had trouble picking up the blitz. He gets beaten blitz pickup. He looked good picking up the blitz.
Yeah.
He stuck his nose in there. He might have got ran over a little bit, but he held tight. When he ran the ball hard. You know, I saw that when he was with Clemson, and he's a good receiver outside of the backfield, as more evident with that touchdown. So I'm excited about what we got in our running backs. What's his name? TPK, the other running back.
Yeah, he looked good too.
Like all five of running backs right now. Even though I'm counting Saquon Barkley, Will Shipley, Melton, TPK, whatever his name is. Listen, they all look good. They ran the ball hard. They blocked. And you know what? It's going to be a battle for that third running back position, I believe. I know Will Shipley has a leg up, but it's going to be a definite battle. I don't think we hold on to 4 running backs this year.
No, and I like Shipley. I agree with everything you just said. Ran hard, looked the part, made the right decisions in blitz pickup, and that's good. That's good to have a young guy that we can develop under Barkley, because we have Barkley 3 years. I would give him a good 3 years.
I give him a great 2 years and one down 3.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
I'm sorry. His name
is
Teron Davis Price and Lou Nichols and Kendall Milton. Those are 3 running backs. They look decent so far, and it's going to be a tough decision. I mean, they're going to be picked up on the practice squad if they get released, but it's going to be a hard. You're going to be over there sweating if and don't be surprised if they get picked up by another team.
Yeah, but it won't be Shipley. So I mean, we can't keep everybody. We're not going to be Shipley, and I like him, so I'm glad that he's going to be a part of the team. He looks promising. McKee looked good too. I like McKee. I
think he's going to be a backup. I think it's going to be a trade made with Minnesota again, and we're going to send Kenny Pickett to Minnesota because they need a backup quarterback.
Right.
But Tanner McKee does look the part of a pro quarterback.
Yes,
there were
does.
some passes that straight up was missed. Shout out to John Ross. He was the leading receiver and the leading target receiver. Anais Smith, the rookie that we got from Texas A&M. His stock is completely
down,
utterly down. If word from training camp to was it yesterday? I believe it was when he got beat, and GJ was talking about you haven't did crep all training camp.
Oh my God, that's horrible, man. And I was rooting for him.
He may be a cut candidate because he doesn't look the part. He doesn't look the part.
I'm kind of disappointed because I try to pick, a player, an underdog coming into camp. It just makes it exciting for me to root for. And he was the guy that I was rooting for wide receiver 3, and at the very least, maybe the punt return job. And he doesn't look like he's going to even make the team. That's not good. I made a bad choice there. But outside of that, the team, it was good to see the team back on the field. The Axeman definitely stands out to me in his performance, and I just can't wait to see him be given a bigger role in this defense, because he looked every bit of the part on Fridays.
He's going to earn it.
So, all right. So we're going to talk about some of the reports I've gotten out of the joint practice. I'm sorry. So let's do that. I'll start it now, and we can finish it in the third quarter. Let me see. So this is I'll credit the report from Eagles Everything. And I don't know where they got it from, but I got the information from them. All right, so their notes for today. is A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith both had nice wins versus Christian Gonzalez in one-on-ones. And I did one of those wins was a Devontae Smith where he just juked the heck out of him. And that's on social media. I saw that when they had video of that. And Devontae Smith is a pure route runner, technician on the route running. And look, man, and I can see, the passing game is the bread and butter of the NFL now offense, right? So you see any player that is that benefits the passing game, they're getting paid. Quarterback number one, he's getting paid. Number two, wide receivers, they're getting paid. And when you look at the wide receivers, man, you check out your teams or our team, because we're talking about Philadelphia Eagles. Check out our team's wide receivers and just pay attention to the route running. As a matter of fact, pay attention to all the top receivers and look at their route running. They look like, I compare them doing their moves to like Kyrie Irving with his dribble, Allen Iverson with the crossover. Like, these guys will fake you out of your cleats on the moves that they make. They're so smooth, and it's just a position where they can really show a lot in their route running and the juke moves that they give the D-backs, man. And I give them credit. They earn every percent of the money that they get now. And on the flip side of the ball, corners who can cover earn every bit of their salary too, because when you have to cover somebody like a Devontae Smith and you can keep up with him, you're a hell of a man. You're a hell of a man. And Devontae did that in one of the videos today I saw out there. He did do the thing to Christian Gonzalez. Another note, they said Quinion Mitchell had a great series versus the Patriots wide receivers in 1-versus-1. So that he's continuing a great training camp we've been hearing about coming out of the NovaCare Center, and it has extended to the game on Friday and now over to the joint practices against the New England Patriots. So that's very encouraging to see. But I have some more notes that we'll go through. Let's end this quarter first.
And that's the end of the quarter.
So you are watching and listening to Eagles Talk, the most unique Eagles coverage show around. That's by us Eagles fans. It's by Eagles fans for Eagles fans. And here on Eagles Talk, we'd like to talk about our favorite football team. That is the Philadelphia Eagles. We do so in such a relaxed manner and enjoying manner that we enjoy our favorite adult beverage in the form of shots. Pat is doing the Jameson, and for those that are listening, pay attention, because the show usually gets lively, especially on Pat's end when he gets to the third shot. So pay attention, listen closely.
I had some food, so I should be good right now.
Okay, he should be good now. So he's going to take. We're doing the third quarter. He's continuing to partake in the Jameson Irish whiskey. Let me know what you're doing out there. I'm going to keep on with the apple juice. So let's do it. To our Philadelphia Eagles, everyone down the hatch. 3, 2, 1.
You're now listening to the third quarter.
All right, so just two more notes, and then we'll talk about it. They said Hurts had a great throw to Smith to end the first 7-on-7 series, and John Ross got open deep and caught a long bomb from Pickett. So from these notes thus far, looks like our team is doing pretty well in that joint practice session. It's great to hear that Quinion Mitchell is still showing up and showing out, and that Hurts is still efficient. And I haven't heard of any interceptions because, he hadn't thrown an interception all training camp. So I wonder if that streak is still in play now since they started the joint practice.
I can tell you right now, there's no surprises. It's been 12 practices in the books, 0 interceptions. If you follow what's his name from WIP?
Elliott.
Elliott Shore Park.
Elliott Shore
Who's
Parks, yeah.
keeping the records. He's like, he made a record. He hasn't thrown an interception yet.
yeah.
People relax. It's practice. Practice doesn't count, okay? I understand it. I get it, how good you can be and efficient you should be in practice. You shouldn't throw interception on practice. Relax. There's going to be a couple times where you might throw an interception once or twice. You might go 27-2 like a good old quarterback we had in the name of Nick Foles, or he might go 35-9. Listen, it happens.
But no, this is big, man. I said this last show. You was absent for this. If I'm going to kill the man because he throws interceptions in training camp, then I've got to give him his flowers when he doesn't. And you best believe you would be with me if we were hearing reports from training camp today that Hurts had thrown 9 interceptions in 2 weeks. You would be worried. And we would be concerned. And knowing us, we'd be killing him. Like, what the hell Hurts doing? He throwing picks every time he dropped back. So if that being the case, if I know that I would kill him if he threw interceptions, then I got to give him his flowers when he does it. What that means a lot more than I think that, and I'm not going to overplay it, but I am comparing this to his season last year and to the fact that he had an offense that didn't really provide him much outlet if his receivers weren't open. They weren't giving him no hot routes. They weren't giving him any of that. He had to make a decision on his own. If I didn't have anybody open, I had to tuck the ball and ran. And I think that he wasn't being coached up enough, and I think that's a difference that we see here now, that he's checking down a lot. I'm hearing reports that he is checking out a lot, and he's not running. When the primary, secondary route is not there, he's taking what they give him and he's dumping it off, and he's running a lot less. So that may be a big part of why he's not throwing interceptions, because he's not forcing it down the field. He's taking what they're giving him, and they're giving him underneath routes to be able to go to when his primary routes are not open. So I got to give the man credit for being able to make that adjustment. Yeah, I got to give him credit for him to growth. I call that growth. I give credit to the coaching staff, but I call it growth on Jalen to listen and to observe and to recognize that this is a better route than tucking the ball and trying to run all the time.
Yeah, so I'm going to equate this to college football, right? This is Jalen's senior year. This is the year that he transferred to Oklahoma, and he had those dynamic wide receivers there, and he was the runner-up to the Heisman Trophy. People don't realize he was a runner-up. If it wasn't for Joe Burrow throwing for 50 touchdowns and having Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson and what's his name? Moss, son at tight end. Like, Jalen Hurts would have been the Heisman Trophy winner. That's how dynamic he was with the inside that Oklahoma offense. So yes, I agree with that completely, Dark Knight. I agree with the notion that, you know what, he is doing something that we all want him to do, not run. How do you elongate a quarterback's career? Right? If Michael Vick took this philosophy and say, you know what, I have the speed to be a dynamic quarterback, but instead of taking off, let me hit the guy here who's taking more punishment, so therefore I can stay in the game longer. That makes you a more efficient, that makes you a more dangerous quarterback in the long run. And I'm happy that he's grasping this offense and he's understanding the hot routes, right? When that Devontae Smith is covered, when that A.J. Brown is covered, when that Dallas Goedert is covered, you know he can go right, swing it out to Kenny Gainwell or Saquon Barkley, and they can get the 2 or 3 yards. Listen, you don't have to shoot for a home run every single down. 4 yards per play, that third down is a first down.
Yep. And looking at the comment I put on the screen here, John Batiste says, it was said that today's practice was the most Kellenish day since he's arrived. More motion and formations at time has the Patriots defense confused. And that's music to my ears. That is music to my ears after witnessing the letdown this offensive unit had last year. And I thought that the offense was the most disappointing aspect of our game last year. And I explained, I'm not going to repeat myself, but I just thought that with all the talent that we had on offense last year, them not performing up to their ability or their capabilities was a bigger disappointment than our defense, which I thought wasn't as talented. So to hear that Kellen Moore, and this is what we expected. This is why we brought him in. We brought him in to give us an exciting, a more complex offense that's going to actually have defenses confused. Because last year, they were calling out our plays. People were calling out our plays. Our plays looked so high schoolish last year. Like I always use this analogy. It was unseasoned soul food last year. We had unseasoned soul food. You know what I'm saying? Now we got paprika. We got paprika and we got some seasonings, some Lowry's in there, some Adobe. We got some seasonings on our soul food this year.
Hold on, Dark Knight. So you was trying to say that they was frying our chicken with water.
Yes, we had boiled chicken. Forget fried. We had boiled chicken.
They put mustard and ketchup on it and said it's a seasoning.
They was putting raisins in the damn potato salad. It was bland. No, we don't do that.
Listen, people.
No.
We're not standing. If you do that, we're not coming at you.
Yes, I am. If you put raisins in the potato salad, I'm coming at you. I'm not eating it. That's you. No, I'm not eating that. We had boiled cabbage on offense last year. That's what I'm saying. So, to hear that Kellen Moore is injecting his spices into our pot. He's injecting some spices into our stew. John also says, thank you, Dark Knight. Philly media would be on his ass. That's right. If Jalen was having multiple turnovers and he was not looking good in this new Kellen Moore offense, they will be killing them all over the media. Yes. So I got to give him credit that he has seemingly a good grasp of the offense. He's not forcing the ball, and he's not having to play hero football, which in the end is going to make him a hero. Yeah. Not having to play hero football is going to make him a hero in the end. Just move the offense down the field. You're going to get your numbers. Don't worry. You get numbers off of those little dump offs. Imagine who you're dumping it off to. You're dumping it off to Saquon Barkley. You're going to get numbers. You're still going to get numbers. You know what I'm saying? So it's good to hear that, man. And Mario from Down Under. Yeah, our other resident from Down Under didn't check in. Mario, it's good to see you in the chat room. He's our follower from Sydney, Australia. Let me see if I still know how to guess the time. I think they're ahead, 12 hours or 10 hours. So it is tomorrow at 6:46 in the morning. It's 6:46 in the morning, Mario? Let me know. Is it 6:46 in the morning in Australia? I think it's 10 hours. Let me know. I used to have it.
I'll be at work already. I'm like, yo.
He's already into Wednesday. Let me know what time it is. All right. George Quincy says, Kellen Moore is going to destroy Jalen Armour by week 10. No, he's not. He's not, George, because he's got some intermediate routes now. We didn't have a lot of intermediate routes last year. And why not when we have one of the best slant route running receivers in the game? That was A.J. Brown's thing. He made a living off of the slant, and we didn't see that a lot. It was either all or nothing. Oh, 10:46. Well, I'm way behind. What am I said. So there are.
It's apple juice. It's an apple juice.
Yeah, that's 12. 14 hours. All right, I got it wrong. I said 10. 14 hours ahead. So they're 14 hours ahead. Okay, that's not bad, because I was about to say, boy, you up that early? All right, so 10:46.
I don't think this offense is going to kill Jalen's arm like this comic is saying from George Quincy.
Yeah, I don't agree with that.
Because if you go back and look at the Dallas days when he was offensive coordinator, yes, I said Dallas. He was those days. He was a top 3 offense, and you had a 1,000-yard receiver, you had a 1,000-yard rusher, you had a 4,000-yard quarterback, you had a balanced offense attack.
Right. Right.
Even last year, even though it wasn't the attack that he wanted, the running back got a bulk of the catches. Austin Eckler, I think he ended up with 90 catches last year or something like that, something crazy. So
yeah,
it is geared for short passes and running the ball when it's successful. When you are able to actually feature a running game like we should be able to, and have dynamic wide receivers like we have, I don't think we're going to ask Jalen Hurts to throw the ball 35, 40 times a game. I think it's going to be more balance of an offensive set, and we're going to be able to dominate like that moving forward.
All right, George is challenging us. The challenge is accepted. All right, we have this on record. Let's circle back in week 10. And what do you want to say? What's a good number? What's a number of passes that you're going to consider we're passing too much? Let's go by average, because we can't go by number. Let's go by average. So in week 10, if he's averaging how many passes? 40 passes a game? You would consider
38 to 45.
38 passes?
That's too many.
All right, so 35.
If he's in the range of
35 to 38 passes a game, if he's averaging that, then I will bow down and tell everyone you were right. And this is our where's my pen? I'm gonna write it down.
Week 3.
Somebody
recap.
Record this.
Eagles.
I'll have a video record of it, but I need a paper record. Everybody out there, write this down. In preseason week 3, George Quincy has said that Kellen Moore is going to have Jalen's arm destroyed, and we're going to judge that by his average number of passes by week 10. Ooh. And if it's 35 plus, then I will give you credit. If it's 35 plus passes, if he's averaging over 35 plus passes a game, I'll say that you may be right. But
you might have a shirt or something. Dark Knight, we might give
I'll give him a T-shirt. If it's over 35 passes a week by week 10, I will give you a free Eagles Talk T-shirt with the new logo on it. I'll promise you that. But if we are 10-1, you got to give it back.
Yeah, I mean, listen. If he's averaging 35 to 45, but we're 10-1,
and we're 10-1, you got to give it back.
Like, oh no, listen, that's okay. It works.
Yeah.
Hey, Dark Knight, I do have to say this before we move on to the fourth quarter. I do have a gripe with our Philadelphia media. I've been listening to him off and on, and I've been pissed the heck off. But to what John Batista put up there about Australia.
What did he put up there?
Listen, John, you gotta understand. So I'll put it up. I got it for you.
Oh,
I got it for you.
Who taught y'all? Oh yeah, that's a good one.
I got.
Yeah. You got it. I'm sorry.
You gotta understand something, John. All right. So this person started to break dance about 15 days prior to what I heard, but this person is going to get so much sponsorship because of bad publicity is good publicity. No matter what, you see her on every stage there is, every meme there is, every social platform there is. When you can do that and have over 1 billion views, you are winning, my
she just won. And for those that are listening, watching, and don't know what we're talking about, this was the first year in the Olympics they had a break dancing competition. That was a category of competition, was break dancing, and the representative from Australia was so horrible that she's going to make millions of dollars. Yeah. That's basically what he's talking about. Yeah. She was so horrible. You have got to Google Australia's break dancer and watch what comes up. And I'll give each one of you a free T-shirt if you don't laugh. I know I don't have anything to worry about, because when you see this, there's no way you're not going to laugh. Anybody who knows anything about breakdancing, it was atrocious. It was so atrocious. It was hilarious. It was hilarious.
That's confidence.
Yeah,
the confidence that she presented in front of millions. Right. That's the confidence we need. All of our rookies, all of our offensive line, all of our defensive line to perform with game in and game out. That don't care to go out there and lay it on the line, regardless if you practice or not, and do the doggone thing for the Philadelphia fan base.
Right. I thought John Batista, I thought she was having a seizure.
She's having a good old time. Listen, you on the Olympic stage.
But on a serious note, though, if you did watch it, there were, aside of her, the top three, the gold, silver, and bronze, they really represent the breakdance, and they just what the guy was from Japan or China.
China, yeah.
Yeah, he was. Whew, yeah,
Yeah,
he tore it up.
Then they go back in the day and get the guys from back in the day. You know what I'm talking about, Dark Knight.
Yeah.
But anyway,
yeah.
let's end this
All right,
quarter.
let's end this quarter.
And that's the end of the quarter.
All right, that's the end of the third quarter, man. You're watching Eagles Talk. We're going into the last and final quarter. Pay attention to Pat. All right, so you watching Eagles Talk, the most unique Eagles coverage show around. That's by Eagles fans, for Eagles fans. And here on Eagles Talk, we like to talk about our favorite football team. That is the Philadelphia Eagles. We do so in such a relaxed manner that we enjoy our favorite adult beverage in the form of shots. Pat is doing his fourth shot of Jameson Irish whiskey. Let me know what you're doing out there. I'm doing my fourth shot of apple juice, and I hope I make it through the fourth quarter because this runs right through me. All right, so here to our Philadelphia Eagles, let's go. Let's take it down the hatch. 3, 2, 1.
You're now listening to the fourth quarter.
All right, what's up, yo, fan? What's up, Dennis? Dennis been trying to get back on. Dennis, we gotta get you in. I gotta get you and fit you in. Dennis actually stepped in one week when neither one of you guys, when my co-hosts they get summers off. They're like teachers. They get summers off, and I can't really say anything about them this year because I kind of took summer off too because of school. But normally this is a year-round show. And, my co-hosts take the summer off, so I had a guest host sit in, and that was one Dennis Holmes, who has his own podcast, and he did a great job, and he's like on the outside of the door just banging in, like, hey, guys, let me in, come on, man, let me in back. So, it was very entertaining, and he did a very good job. So, yeah, I have to let you back in the studio, Dennis. So maybe we can make that happen maybe next week. Who knows? So let's look at this comment here. John Batiste says, first of all, Vic Fangio ain't playing favorites. He doesn't care if you're a rookie or vet making millions or a UDFA, undrafted free agent. The best has been on the field. I love that comment because that is the philosophy that I have. And I think that every coach, and I think that every good coach has. I always point to one situation in particular, and I give this guy Pete Carroll actually did it. The year they drafted Russell Wilson, they had just signed I forget the quarterback's name, but they had just made a big free agent quarterback.
Matt Flynn was the quarterback, yeah.
Yeah, big free agent quarterback signing, and Russell came in as a rookie, and he outplayed him. And Pete Carroll didn't care that they were giving this guy top dollar. He played Russell. He did not care that this guy, it would be the equivalent of today benching Kirk Cousins for Pence, or what's the guy named Penix?
Yeah, Penix.
For Penix. It would be the equivalent of doing that. After giving Kirk Cousins that big contract, and then recognize Penix is better and starting him. And I always respected Pete Carroll for that. Because that's how I want my coaches to be. I don't want there to be draft politics or salary politics come into play. Or we got to play this guy. He was picked in the first draft over this guy who was picked in the sixth round. If the guy picked in the later round is better, play the better player. I just want to see the best players on the field. It doesn't matter to me who makes the most money. That's not my concern. That may be your concern. That may be Howie's concern. That may be even the player's concern. But as a fan, all I want to see is the top-notch product on the field. And I agree with you. Vic doesn't care about if you're a rookie or a vet. He's going to play the best person for the job. Here, I got another note from today's practice, and it's not a good one for Nakobe Dean. So the note says Nakobe Dean was struggling in coverage again today. Mm-hmm. And that is his biggest, I think that's the biggest knock on him, is that he's not good in coverage. Yeah. And today he also struggled too. So that's not a good Nakobe Dean report. They did say in one of these other notes, they did say that he had a nice play breakup of an interception. He broke up he had a nice breakup of a TD, and because of his breakup, Zach Bourne caught it for an interception. So
yeah, there was 2 turnovers caused by linebackers today. And like you said, Dark Knight, there are some aspects of the Nakobe Dean's game that is relevant in today's game. But there's some aspects that this game today pretty much leaves him in the dust. At a 5'10" linebacker, when you always see these tight ends that are 6'4", 6'5", 6'6", you're always out of sorts when you're going against these tight ends. That one that you just mentioned about Nakobe Dean making that breakup, he said he got into a position where he had to jump out the gym to break up the pass, and Zach Brown was there to recover it. I mean, let's be honest with you. I'll be 100% honest with you, Dark Knight. As much as I like Jeremiah Trotter Jr., as much as I like Nakobe Dean, Patrick Wilson, who went to the Pittsburgh Steelers, is a 6'4" clone of the linebacker that Luke Kuechly, who played with the Carolina Panthers. 6'4", fast.
Who doesn't like Luke? Man? Luke is up for
our linebackers
Hall
right
of Fame.
now. Our linebackers is my size. I'm 6'1". All right, Dark Knight,
Right.
you're 6'3" or 6'4", right?
Right.
When we play basketball against each other, right? You have a little height advantage. I mean, back in the day, I could jump, and trust me, you didn't see me jump back in the day, but back in the day, I could jump, so I had an advantage. But you're always at a disadvantage when you have these pads on, being a 6 foot, 6'1", 5'10", 5'11" linebacker, regardless of how good you can be. Zach Mills, Sam Mills, Zach Thomas, all these linebackers that Zach Wynn, all these good linebackers that were measure in size that make all the plays, they always got beat by a taller tight end, always. And that's the limitation that we have with these smaller linebackers. So we have to really, moving forward, have to look for the bigger linebackers that can make plays for us.
Yeah, I agree, and that's and I mean that's kind of mixed messaging right there, because John Batiste did point out, they said that he struggled in pass coverage. So I'm thinking like the overall census of the day is that overall he struggled against pass coverage, but he did have that one highlight where he had a breakup of a TD and it resulted in an interception.
It's the good and the bad, the yin and the yang,
It's the yin and the yang, and it's the averages that's going to count. So if he's getting beat more than he's making good plays in pass coverage, then the consensus is going to be he's not doing a good job in pass coverage. So I know that, it's all about averages. We'll remain to see how this plays out, but I do have the utmost confidence in Vic Fangio on choosing and placing the best talent on the field once the first week of the season starts. So I'm confident in that. We just have to see who that turns out to be out of the linebackers that we have. Do you think that, but I'll ask you this, and I'll ask you this out in the audience also. Do you think that we have the linebackers on the roster that can do the job that we need done? No matter, I mean, you pick the combination, but do you think that we have a linebacker core that, we can pick the best 2 or 3 out of them and be effective?
I think with our defensive backs, with the emergence of our rookie Jeremiah Trotter and the leadership of Devin White, we will have the linebackers this year. Unfortunately, last year I might have said the same thing because I was gaslighting that team. But I think this year this team understands that what their weakness is in the middle of the field with the linebackers. They have to be better, or this team would not go anywhere. This team would not go anywhere if our linebackers aren't able to make proper plays. When I mean proper plays, the first play of that preseason game, it's a proper play by a linebacker shedding a guard and making the tackles so that the running back can't get 14 yards. If a running back is averaging 9 yards, 7 yards a carry, we ain't doing our job. We need to get the ball back to our offense so that dynamic offense can continue to put points on the board.
I totally agree, and I thought you were going to touch on it. You were this close
I was about
to touching on it.
I was
And
about to.
what I mean is we need our linebackers to cover that middle of the field.
I was really about to go
We
back to
need that. We need that.
I was about to go
We
into
need our linebackers to be able to cover that middle of the field, because I tell you, I'm going to lose it if we get gouged over the middle like we did last year. If we come out and this defensive unit gets gouged over the middle as we did last year, I'm going to lose it. So that is why, to me, the linebacker position is going to be very key this year. I love what the D-backs are doing, but our linebackers, that was a give me play against our defense last year. That was a go-to play every time the opposition needed a first down. They always had the middle of the field to go to. So we can, and I've heard Vic talk about it in his press conference. We need good linebacker play. So my question is still, do you think that we have the linebacker core that is going to solve that problem for us this year? I don't know yet. I like Devin White. They said Zach was doing great. He didn't look great in the first preseason game. I have to see more. Jeremiah Trotter did his thing. I didn't see a lot of pass coverage, but we have got to have better linebacker play. And I think if we can get that, because if you go back, recent history shows when we get adequate linebacker play, not only do we do well, we go to the Super Bowl. The 2 times we went to the Super Bowl, our linebacking play was stellar.
Yes.
So if we can get that, we got, along with everything else falling into place, along with the upgrade in the secondary, which I think is going to hopefully help translate to more sacks. And you've seen a little taste of Vic blitzing. I think we're going to see more blitzing now, right? We have covers, corners that can cover. So you can take a bit of a more gamble in sending people, because they're going to cover. They're going to cover long enough for the blitzer to get there if it's an effective blitzer.
Yes.
So I love our chances.
I totally agree with you, Dark Knight. I love our chances. I think Vic Fangio is going to come up with a scheme to protect our middle of the field. It's going to take our team to really buy into philosophy to be better than they were last year. Edge rushers going to be better. But I do have one gripe before we end this podcast or this show. If you allow me 2 minutes. Just 2 minutes.
Give me 2 minutes, but let me just say this first before we go out the door. Dion, you're late, damn it.
You're late.
And why are you at Bible study on Tuesday? You need to change churches. Bible study is on Wednesday. What church you go through? That's a heathen church or something. Forgive me, God. God knows I don't have Bible study on Tuesdays. What church are you going to? All right. Well, you 10 shots behind as Jeremiah points that out, because you missed last week. So that's 4 from last week. And you got a lot of making up to do. Here's Dion, right?
Drink some Manischewitz. Drink some Manischewitz.
All right, but go ahead. Give you 2 minutes. We're about to get out of here.
I have my 2 minutes that my brother's the pastor. My bad.
Well, he understands. Like, yo,
right,
you write this. Like, oh, I got Eagles talk. I got God. I got Eagles talk. I got God. You gotta go with your heart, bro. You gotta go with your heart. All right, go ahead, Pat. Go ahead.
What? This is recorded.
Go ahead.
All right,
ahead,
listen.
Pat.
I have something with the Philadelphia media. All right. When there is nothing going negative with our Philadelphia Eagles team, they like to pick at scabs that are years old. They went into the training camp talking about the relationship of our quarterback and our head coach. That was the hottest topic. He disrespected the head coach. He didn't disrespect the head coach. He didn't say anything bad about the head coach. But yet The Philadelphia sports media made it bigger than anything else.
Well,
Last
that's what they're
week,
supposed to do, Pat.
last
You don't
week,
have
Frank
nothing to
Knight,
talk about. You got to
I
make
get
up
it,
something to talk about.
I get it. But support your daggone team. All right? Stop with this hot take stuff. I agree, Sid. You know what? I'm a journalist, so sometimes I get the hot takes, but I struggle on the fence. Hugh Douglas said, you know what? I go with the players. That's what Hugh said. I go with the players because I'm a player. This hot take stuff ain't nothing. Ain't no fire where they say smoke. They talked about.
I disagree. I think it's fire. It was fire all over that.
No doggone fire. They talk about.
You
Jalen
think
Hurts.
so? Tell me, Pat. You think that Sirianni and Jalen Hurts had a great relationship last year?
Listen, it was a bad relationship. It happens.
Okay, well that's all we talked about.
That happens. It happens. It's over with. It's done with. It's a new year. Why are we bringing it up now in the new season and they clicking?
All right, I get you on that. But
wait.
Again, when it's a slow news cycle, my job, if it's a slow sports news cycle, and my job is to talk about sports, I got to come up with something to talk about.
Let's be positive.
So I get it.
Change. Let's be a positive fan. Sports talk for a change. Every single day is a negative thing about Jalen Hurts, Nick Sirianni. He's on a hot seat. He's on this. He's on that. Oh, why did Jalen Hurts call Week Martindale to ask him what he could did better as a quarterback?
I thought that was good.
That is great. You want your quarterback to try to be better than what he was. You want your quarterback to understand that this defense coordinator saw a weakness in what they had and what he could do to bring it back to his team to be better. You want your quarterback to get better every freaking day. If Aaron Rodgers did it, oh, the greatest man in the world. But Jalen Hurts did it. Oh, he's terrible. Like, come on, this crap.
No, I didn't agree with that. I didn't agree.
Negative press that we have here in Philadelphia that has to be because we're, there's nothing really going on besides the Phillies sucking. There's nothing really going on, so they have to talk negatively about Philadelphia. Next week they're gonna talk about our kicking game. Week after that they're gonna talk about our center. Like, come on.
See, this is Pat after 4 shots, guys. This is Pat. This is Pat after 4 shots.
My eyes are spread out.
He saved his rant for the last minute of the show, but we got to get out of here. Hey, Tony Burren, our resident from Down Under, finally makes it to the program in the last minute of the program. He is our other follower from Australia. Thank you, Tony, for tuning in, but we're about to tune out right now. So, hey, guys, thanks for joining us, man. This podcast will be up. He said, excuse me, sir. We are negative on this show until I get 3 shots in. 3 shots in. No, we got to go, Dion. You have to catch up on your own. Look, we're out of here. This podcast will be up tomorrow, so check it out on all of your audio podcast platforms, Apple Podcasts, the Spotify, iTunes, iHeart, TuneIn, every platform. We're up on it. So look for the podcast tomorrow, man, and listen. Tell your friends about us. We need the downloads. I'm your man, Dark Knight, for my co-host Pat and Nichelle in her absence. We're out of here. We'll see you next week. Peace.
We go live in 5, 4, 3, 2. Smash him up, crack that fool. Hot quarterback, crack, yo, sack that fool.